Good morning, I'm Wil Compton from Gulf to Bay Paddle Sports on beautiful Sanibel Island. And this morning we're going to go through some basic steps for beginner paddle stroke and some safety tips and some things that you want to look for and be aware of. Always want to have a PFD on your board and always wear a leash. Those are the two basic safety items that we like to see on every board, and it's required pretty much by Coast Guard and Marine Patrol. Next, we're going to go through the 5 steps of the paddle stroke, and we're going to start in an athletic position, kind of like you're a soccer goalie, but the ball is at midfield, knees bent, not too far. This is position number 1, and I call this a neutral position. Position number 2, what it does is it loads, you'll see that my hip came forward, and position number 2 loads your hips for power. Position number 3 is really exaggerated. Number 3, up and over. This stacks your hands and stacks your shoulders for power. Position number 4 is the entry catch, and position number 5 is the stroke. The stroke ends just behind your foot. A good key is to not have your bottom hand go past your hip. So let's do it again. We have position number 1, position number 2, position number 3, 4, 5, and then back to 1. Now this is exaggerated, and everybody is going to adopt their own style of paddling. So what this 5-point process does is it just gets you ready to do the basic paddle stroke, and like I said, you can adapt it for yourself later on. Okay, so the next step we're going to do after practicing on the board just a little bit on dry land is we're going to get into the water. And this is really a good drill for everybody to do before you get on the board, or even after you've been paddling for a little while, because it gives you a really good feel of what it's like to have water pushing back against the paddle. You're going to choke down on your paddle a little bit more, of course with thumbs up, and we're going to do the 5-step process right now. So we're going to bend our knees, be in a little athletic position, and we're going to practice our muscle memory. So we have position number 1, position number 2, position number 3, 4 is our catch and entry, 5 is the stroke, and then back to number 1. Let's do it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. You notice the whole time that my arms are straight, and this is really important. If you get stuck into paddling like this with your arms, I'm going to ask you how many push-ups you can do. Because after you've done all those push-ups, you're going to be done. With our straight arms, we're using all of our muscles in our core. This is what makes stand-up paddling such a great sport. Next, people are going to ask, do we always paddle on one side? Well, we don't. So I'm going to show you the paddle exchange now in just a little bit of water so you see how it works. If we're paddling like this and we need to change sides, we bring the paddle up and forward. Our old top hand is now our new bottom hand. So we're always holding on to the paddle. Slide your other hand up and look where you are. You're in perfect position for the beginning of your next paddle stroke. Paddle stroke, paddle stroke, paddle stroke. Throw the paddle forward at the end of the stroke. Hold by your old top hand as your new bottom hand. And Okay, next we're going to go through how to get on the board and how to get the board up with your paddle. Now you got two items, you got to pick both of them at the same time. We've got our safety leash on, so you can watch the drill. I put my paddle across the board like this. I hold the leash in one hand, I pick the board up with the other, and I hold the leash and the handle in one hand so I don't trip over my leash. My paddle, because I laid it across the board, is here for me to pick up. So now I'm ready to go. I get into the water, and you never want to stand in water less than at least over your knees. You could fall and hit a hard bottom or a rock or something like that. So now we go to what I call my kneeling safety position. And this position is used when we're entering the water from the beach, exiting the water, or in any situation where you get tired or large waves are coming from a boat wake or the like. Okay, so this is the way we get onto the board. Knees first, paddle in one hand, hands on the deck, feet up, butt down. You're going to look at the horizon right away because the horizon is your balance friend. Just like a bicycle, as soon as you get on it, you need to pedal. Just like with the board, you want to start to paddle right away because speed and power are your friend. If you're going someplace and you want to stop, you can always put the paddle back down in the water and pull it forward. What I like to do is keep my hand close to my hip because this keeps the center of effort low. If you're up here, it may unbalance you. Okay, so those are some of our tips. Have a great day on the water and be safe. It's about fun, but it's also about safety. Aloha from Sanibel Island and Gulf to Bay Water Sports.